In this video, I'd like to give you an introduction to pacing by contrasting pacing with another way of living with CFS and fibro, push and crash. Maybe you're familiar with it. Many people with CFS and fibro feel trapped in repeated cycles of push and crash. Their symptoms, and just as important, their reactions to them, interact to keep them caught in a frustrating loop shown in the diagram. When their symptoms are low, they push to get as much done as they can, and they overdo. That's the overexertion part of the diagram. The result of overexertion is an increase in symptoms, and so they crash. The high level of symptoms forces them to rest in order to reduce discomfort. This is usually successful since rest reduces their pain, fatigue, and other symptoms. But then, feeling frustrated at all that they didn't do while they were resting, they plunge into another round of overactivity. This in turn causes another intensification of symptoms, and so they experience another crash. I'd like to underline two aspects of this cycle. The first is lack of control. Lack of control. Living in response to symptoms means feeling caught on a demoralizing roller coaster in which high symptoms alternate with periods of extended rest. Pacing is an alternative to repeated cycles of push and crash. Pacing offers the possibility of a more stable and predictable life. With pacing, you can live your life according to a plan rather than in response to symptoms, giving you a sense of managing the illness rather than the illness controlling you. The second notable thing about push and crash is that the intensification of symptoms is out of proportion to the overexertion. So let me put that down here as symptoms out of proportion. Typing's not great. For example, it's not unusual for an hour of extra activity to trigger half a day or more of bed rest and a higher level of symptoms that lasts a week. This phenomenon is known as post-exertional malaise, which is explained in detail in another video. Post-exertional malaise just means that your symptoms are worsened when you go outside your limits, and the intensification is out of proportion to the overdoing. If you can pace yourself by staying within your limits, you can avoid post-exertional malaise and, because of that, significantly reduce your suffering. Avoiding that extra hour of activity can save you many times that amount of time in forced bed rest, increased fatigue, pain, brain fog, and so on. This series will show you how to do that.